Alright guys, so I had a guy ask me a week or two ago about doing a rollout wheel video explaining how I build it. It's not exactly the same as most people. I built mine a little too heavy. I think I'm gonna go about fixing how to do it and pulling some of the 3/4 inch plates that are slightly excessive and re-drilling holes and stuff. But we're gonna do a rig tour and we're gonna do a rollout explanation, and then I'm gonna show you some other projects, and then we'll go from there. So here we go. So this is a 2002 F350. It has a 7.3 power stroke in it. I should not have done that, but whatever. It's a crew cab short bed, 4-wheel drive, has 180,000 miles on it. We did a 6.0 trans cooler. I got most of the parts to build my ranch hand bumper that I'm doing for it. I want to do LEDs across the top in purple because that's the color that I love. So I paid $10,500 for this. My welder is a Miller Big 40G. Here, I'll take you to the other side real quick. See, Miller Big 40G. It says 1,100 hours. I think there's a couple more than that on it, but that's okay. Repainted it. Took the one door off. At one point, this was in my stock bed, hot dog style. And then this was $500, and I put probably $300 or $400 into it. It has a new water pump and the carburetor's rebuilt. And then there's a fuel shutoff that the guy before me couldn't figure out why it was doing the weird stuff it was. There's a little electronic fuel shutoff that shuts the fuel off, and it wouldn't shut off and kept firing and whatever. So that was $500. The leads, 110 of each. They're number 1, and that's this, leads, this, and all these little green connectors. That was $500. And then my V-Stinger, which a lot of people seem to like, this was another $100 by itself. Then my custom-made grill, that was free, so because I already had all the parts. I had a friend down to vocational when I went to vocational high school make this for me for a shifter. So I just welded this on for a handle. And then the bed cost me maybe $200, $300 to build. But that's including the lights. The lights were $50 for all 6 of them, and they were stupid bright. Then for my tail lights, or my license plate light, I have motorcycle lights, tail lights for that. So those are really bright too because they're LEDs. Then I bought this job box for $140 from one of my friends that his dad had it on a semi. Then I bought my oxyacetylene torches for $440. These are rental tanks. My tanks are being filled. And all the reels and stuff, what the tanks are sitting on are in, and the reels over here, those are all from work I built on brakes and stuff. Those I think cost me $40 because they're all scrap metal. So, and then I have a 7-inch and 2 4s. I want to get another 7-inch, so I can run a big 7-inch buffer disc or buffer wheel. Then we have, my stub pail, my old stub pail, helmets. I have a fire extinguisher over here. I need to figure out how to mount that. I have hammers and all sorts of stuff down here. I have pipe in here. There's rods here, rods underneath. My extension cord. This is for the grill. I haven't figured out where to put it yet. I have jumper cables because my welder likes to do stupid stuff, so that's whatever. I have all my oxyacetylene stuff in here. I have a whole bunch of gloves. I have a fiberglass blanket, or a welding fiberglass blanket. I need to figure out how to organize that. That's a different step. But then I built my step. I bought that with the reels and everything. And then, you know, I built that out of bolts and 1/8 inch plate. So that works really well. I like that. So we're gonna go on to this real quick. And let me do this real quick. So how I built this was, these are 2x2x3. No, they might be 1/4 inch or 3/16, one of the two. There is an 11 inch one back here to go all the way through the bed. This one is, I think, 9 inches. This is 3/8 or 1/2 inch plate. And I just, you know, took a line and took it out as far as I wanted it. And I just drew a circle and cut it all. And then ground it down smooth. And I drilled my holes. This is 90, 180, what is it, 45, and then 22.5. Or 0 if you want to call it that, whatever. These are 3/8. No, these are 1/2 inch plates. This is a solid tube that is, or not a solid tube. This is a 3/8 thick tube that is 3.5 inches, I want to say. And I just welded that to this, which I wish I would have done it different. But that's what I was talking about. This and these plates I need to cut off and redo it. But I welded that to this, and then this wheel bearing came off of my friend's trailer that the axle broke. So he just gave me the wheel bearings. I have another one at work that I want to build another rollout wheel with and completely redesign how I do it. But I welded that into this tube and then supported the whole tube, so, you know, just to make sure nothing's going to go wrong. And then I used chain to make the little handle to adjust up and down to make sure, you know, stuff's level. And then it's a real simple, really simple brake mechanism. You know, you just screw it down like this, and it holds fairly firm, but it's not amazing. I used a 1/4 inch plate here and put chain around all the way around it, so, you know, there's something to grab onto. And I blew holes in it so we could get to the rollout wheel like this. Here, let me see these. So you could get in there and bolt this down. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this spacer off and this spacer off, and the bolts that were originally in this, I welded heads on them and countersunk this so that the bolts would be in here flush, so this could sit flush too. I'm gonna get shorter bolts so we can just bolt this plate up, and so we can just bolt this straight to this, so there's not all this extra added 20-30 pounds on there. This I paid $95 for off eBay, and I just sprayed it with black paint so it doesn't rust out too bad like it is. And this I bought along with those, and I think that, along with all the reels and stuff, I think this was $30 worth of metal, because it was pretty, that thing's probably every bit at 95 pounds. But that's what we got. So in all, I would say I've probably spent, oh, and then, yeah, my little shitty tip, he's pretty awesome. It works pretty good. And I just chained it up underneath the box so it isn't, just in case, so it doesn't fall off or anything. But so far I've put 10.5 truck, 500 for the welder, about 600 for the leads and stuff. So that's 11.5. Torches were another just about 500, so there's 12. Box and all the extra stuff. So I have somewhere around 13 to 14,000. So you can rig a truck out for pretty cheap to go pipeline, but I just found deals and bought stuff. I still need to get bevelers for it. I need to get 100 foot of hose for the oxyacetylene. Eventually I want to I want to get a different welder, but right now it's doing what it needs to. But I will show you guys the other stuff I'm doing real quick, and then we're going to conclude it there. So I'll see you in a second. Okay, guys. I don't know if you remember this from a couple videos ago, but that little hitch that I made for it, the whole thing crushed itself in and then pulled out, and it blew the bolts out of it. So he messaged me the other day, and I told him bring it back over, and I built him this all out of 1/4 inch. This right here is 4 1/4 inch pieces welded together, 100% seam welds. Then I ground it all smooth. Then I just drilled the holes for it and gusseted everything. And then we have grade 8 3/8 bolts. So I guess that thing is pretty heavy. So, and then I don't know how well you're gonna be able to see this, but I made this right here. It's a little swing arm for like, you know, when people are deer hunting and they're videotaping and stuff. I made it so, you know, it'll swing so I can videotape everything. But I'll give you guys a video here in a second, so you can see what that looks like, and then we'll talk to you later. Alrighty, guys, so here's what we got. And it comes just like that. So we're gonna have a little phone holder, obviously, because I'm gonna do it with my phone like I do every other video. But I did everything hand tight. And there's 2 rubber bushings right there between each one of them. Besides this one, this one's 1, but that way it doesn't make noise. But this is 36 inches, so probably about 33-ish. But this, you can hook ratchet strap all around the tree and hook back to the other side. But yeah, that's what I made, and hopefully I can start getting videos of hunting and stuff for you guys. So there's a tree mount and the sprayer that broke itself again, and then the reg tour. So if you guys like the videos, make sure you like, subscribe, comment, tell all your friends, family, anybody, just strangers. Tell them if they want to watch somebody cool, come find me. If they want to learn how to weld, same thing. I'll talk to you guys later.